There we go. So this is the first ride of, well, not my first ride, but the first ride of 2023. Almost months in. So started getting back into riding after taking a little bit of a hiatus from riding. And you know, someone pointed out to me the other day that it's something I hadn't thought about. It was, you know, they mentioned, you know, you were riding a bunch, you were, you know, nothing stopped you. You know, it was hot, you rode. If it was windy, well, if it's really windy, I didn't ride. But, you know, I had someone started riding with me, and then I kind of fell off the horse. And I think part of that is, you know, you start planning your rides for when they're going to be able to ride, and then their schedule gets shuffled around. You know, I'm not going to ride until I can ride with them, and you just don't go ride. And then, you know, some days, you know, you want to be a good ride partner, so you don't, you know, you'll push yourself a little bit more than you should. You know, they might say, hey, let's go to this point, and you're like, okay, knowing full well, you know, you'll be off the bike for 2 or 3 days, did everything. So, you know, as much as those rides were fun, you know, unless you have somebody that's just going to ride with you consistently every day and is going to ride, you know, this is my personal reflection on my situation, is, you know, ride by yourself. You know, because including somebody else in on the mix, it's just, especially you have a routine. And, you know, like today, if I was like, you know, tomorrow the weather's going to be a little bad or windy, or I have to work a different shift tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to ride, you know, like I worked today, but let's say I knew I was going to have to work late tomorrow and go in late. And then I'd either, or I would ride tomorrow morning. I'm not going to do, you know, I'm not going to do both. I'm not going to do last night and then tomorrow morning just to make up for tomorrow afternoon, because, you know, it's too much ride, too close. So, but I mean, it's just my mentality of it. And we'll say Garmin mess up this time. They and I say they did. If you use Garmin or you use Strava, or both really, then you know on Strava, and if you didn't know this, now it'll be something you'll learn. Strava, you can hide your start and end point places, so you know it won't show right where you start. Garmin's new stuff to their, you know, to their groups, and basically, you know, it shows not just like, hey, you know, so and so did a ride, and this is the miles they did, or this is how many miles they've done for the month. It kind of acts like Strava, where it shows every ride. Problem is, it doesn't give any privacy settings. So, you know, if you leave from your house, I can click on your map, you know, because like Bing, which I think it uses Bing Maps, because it'll show you your street, and it'll even, you know, have a start and end point, and your house number's right on your house. So I know exactly where you live. So, you know, if I had ill intention, well, there you go. So, something that I really hope that they will fix. Yeah, that's because, cool. You know, it's one thing if, you know, you're at, you know, ABC mountain bike trail and you start at the beginning of ABC Mountain Bike Trail and you end at the end of ABC Mountain Bike Trail. That's ABC Mountain Bike Trail. You know, it's not your house. So that definitely needs to be something that is addressed. If it's something that they've already done, then it's not obvious how to do it. Something tells me there's an oversight on their end, or you know, ooh, we didn't put it, and nobody's gonna care. So I disabled my activity sharing to groups and stuff. It only shares to my contacts now, which the only contacts I have are like in real life. So, you know, and they it's all right. They know where I live already. Nothing new if they knew that. So it's one of those, you know, hopefully they'll fix it though. If not, I'll just look at my Froggy. I will not look at my Froggy. You know, if not, I'll just figure out kind of how I compare against the others. Just look at their numbers and compare my numbers to their numbers. You know, if I really care, which I really don't. Because for the most part I forget that group exists, except when I see it and then I look at it. Because back when I used to walk a whole bunch, I joined a group, not a group, but I joined one of those challenges, and it kind of just auto joins you, and it's like the 30,000 step club or something, and it's like basically it. You know, if you walk a whole bunch, like I think I got up to like the 50,000 step club. I was doing like, I was going to walk every day. I was doing like 10,000 steps a day, which basically meant walking up and down every street in the neighborhood, you know, for a few blocks in every direction. So it was one of those things. It was fun, but it was short-lived because you just kind of get bored, you know, walking the dog or something. It's just, you know, cycling I enjoy, you know, because if I get a little tired, I can do like I'm doing right now and just kind of coast for a little bit. And, you know, I'm not certain that coasting actually, you know, is, you know, taking anything the easy route, because you know, because like say you slow down, you know, because you are going to slow down when you coast, and you know you start slowing down. It's like to get back up to speed, you have to put more effort into doing that. So it's one of those, I don't know that it really is, you know, now like right here, bugs. So what's for dinner? I'm not talking right now much because kind of heading into the wind. Ooh. Need my need to get my photo. little bit of a ride intermission there. Needed to take a photo for my little, whenever I finish riding, you know, if you have Garmin, you know what I'm talking about. You can do the share stats with photo from your ride. And so no, I don't post it on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any of that crap. I make a little photo, you know, just pick a photo that I took from the ride, or maybe something cool that day or whatever. Mostly a photo I take during the ride. But I'll put the stats from my ride on it, and you know, send it to my family. It's at the end of the day, I mean, you know, yeah, you might get 100 people to like it on Facebook or something, but they're just hitting that little thumbs up button. You know, send it to your family when they tell you good job. You know, that's heartfelt. You know, at least for me. And I'm talking about me right now. I'm not talking about anybody else's situations. If your situation differs, you know, if you want it to change, hope it changes. If you're happy with the way it is, then hey, that's good for you. But I'm happy with how my relationship with my family is. So, but yeah, wasn't a huge fan of it. And then years ago, and I know I talked about this in a vlog probably about this time last year. So back when I had my A6000 and I had that RX 100 and then I got rid of it, got the RX 100 Mark 6. Pretty much getting rid of one camera, paid for another camera. And well, 2023, that camera is gone. On to a new home. Decided after a little deliberation over the weekend, decided I didn't want it anymore. So sold it. Well, I sent it off. It's, you know, I have an offer, and then they basically, when they get it, they inspect it. We'll either keep that offer that they gave you and say, okay, yep, we inspected the camera and it is the quality you said it is. Here you go. We're willing to offer you this. Accept, yes, and they'll send you a check. Say no, they send you your camera back. So it's one of those. I mean, if they, you know, going, oh, this camera's a piece of junk, then, you know, I'd be quite upset and just be like, send it back to me. But, you know, as long as their offers, hopefully it's what I'm expecting, because it's already huge amount off what the camera cost originally. But I think the Mark 6, I think it came out in like 2016, 2017, something like that. So I mean, it does have its age up there. But the other thing, there's only been one camera, like newer model, since then. Now they have that's Mark 6, and newer than that's the Mark 7. So, and Mark 7 is getting up there. I don't know if people saying there's rumors of an 8 to be released, but to be honest, I think I don't know. I don't think we'll see it for another few years, but I could be wrong. I've been before, and I've been wrong again. So Right days I need to tighten the little mounting screw from a headlamp. But yeah, and that camera just wasn't really, it wasn't inspiring creativity. I mean, it was technically and spec wise beautiful camera, 100% awesome camera, but you know, kind of like the X100 I had, you know, it inspires something. And even like the Ricoh, the GR series, you know, for a little snapshot point and shoot, I mean, they're great cameras, don't get me wrong. I mean, they have APS-C sensors. I mean, it's spec wise they're amazing, but it's just, you know, it lacks those dials, you know, which is, you know, why I bought that used XT1, you know, because it just throws some manual glass on there, like an old vintage Minolta lens or something with an adapter, or whatever your flavor of vintage lens, vintage manual glass is. Throw that on there and go out and take pictures. You know, you got ISO, shutter speed, aperture, and then on your lens, well, you got your aperture and your focus on your lens, but you know, you control all those yourself. So, you know, and you can kind of pretend like you're shooting film, get a small memory card, and you know, or you could just be like, you know, okay, I have 4 rolls of film, and they're what, 32 exposures each, so 128 exposures. So you can kind of like say, okay, when I take 120 photos, that's it. You can't delete. You know, so if you go to order a coffee and your camera presses up against the counter and it actuates that shutter 100 times, well, you got 28 photos left, buddy. So, you know, it's one of those things. I kind of actually held on to that camera because I was really, you know, I was thinking about a couple people that I would have given it to, but you know, I don't think I don't know if they're going down the path where they would need that camera. I think they with the certification stuff, you know, I don't know. So, but they're doing other things right now, and they're happy with what they're doing, and you know, I might have, whenever a new bike comes to be, they might be helping out with, as long as their employer, you know, is okay with it, and as long as I am okay with what it'll cost, you know, because, you know, I'm not looking to spend, you know, I have an idea in my head of what I'm willing to spend, but also understand that, you know, his boss has a business to run, and you know, I'm not trying to get any freebies or anything, you know, I'm just, so if what I'm looking to do, windy, works out. Ooh, not gonna be a fun ride back to the house. Oh well. So, and I kind of have some changes to how the wind must have changed direction or something. Phew. Yep. So, we got a few little things, but other than that, from the last time I recorded till this time, not really much been going on. Just been staying busy. Busy, always busy. It is what it is. So. Oh, I was watching somebody's YouTube the other day, and you know, they had a good point, because, you know, the guy did truck. You know, I'll plug his channel for him. It's a Saznak, basically the word Kansas, spell it backwards. You can explain that in the video, because people keep asking, what does Saznak mean? And he was like, it's Kansas, spelled backwards. Like, cool, interesting. So we had mentioned, and he does truck. He was like, you know, the whole reason I started this channel is, you know, and I may be misremembering some of it, but it was basically he wanted to be able to share, you know, because he was truck driving by himself, and, you know, he wanted to be able to, like, you know, like some truck drivers, like a team driver or couples, should be the same as a team if you're a couple, I guess. And so he mentioned, like, you know, when you have somebody in the passenger seat, you can be like, hey, check out that cool building over there. Hey, check this out. So his YouTube audience, and he's still alive, he's just getting out of trucking, and but he, you know, kind of makes sense, because, like, when I'm riding, sometimes I've been doing that lately. You know, a couple nights I talk to different friends just about different things going on, but some nights I'll just listen to my music, and, you know, if somebody calls me, I'll talk with them. And but, you know, sometimes, like tonight, like, I have my little bone conducting headphones on, I got my music turned down real low. The mic can't hear it though, but it's kind of, I just want a one-sided conversation. Me and my YouTube audience of 1 or 2 or whatever it is. I haven't even looked at the stats for these videos, because my ambition is social media star. But I will say I did do one modification to my bike. It was right around Christmas. And I'll tell you what, the day I installed it, I think it was like one of the coldest days last year. And I've been wanting to, if you're interested in and kind of curious on what I did or visual of it, I think it was Path Less Pedaled. Look up DIY alt bar. Basically consists of, you know, like on your bike you have the, you know, pick a side, pick either side from the handlebar. You can start from the left or from the right, but you have your grip, then you have your brakes, then you have shifters, you know, your gear setup, and then inboard of that, you know, maybe you have other stuff in there too, but, you know, inboard of your grips on both sides you have, basically, if you remember in the 90s, people had bar ends on their mountain bikes, and I don't even know if it was like a trend on like high-end mountain bikes, or if it was just a Walmart mountain bike thing that everybody had them on there. But I just remember those were like, all my friends, they had them on their bike. I know I didn't have them on mine because my bike didn't come with them. I also thought they looked kind of silly. And but I put them on the inside. Like I said, if you watch his video on it, you'll see what I'm referring to. And you can pretty much buy any kind of, you know, bar end grip to put. And it'll pretty much do this. It'll do the same thing. Just depends on, you know, what you're looking for, material, size, color, whatever. But it's kind of nice because, you know, now I basically have 3 hand positions. I can have my hands on the grips and kind of hook my thumbs around the, you know, kind of rest my hands flat on the bar and hook my thumbs around, because the ones I have are kind of like skeletonized aluminum, like with like finger grooves. Actually I might be able to do this picture right there, if you can see them. Not sure how well they're showing up, but they're right there. So it's one of those, hey, you know, they work. Actually, or might be able to, here. Hopefully you can kind of see, but you know, that's one way I can grip them. That's another way. Just have my hand flat, and I can grab my brake lever enough with my pinky and ring finger, or I can put my hand on the grip. Hopefully you can see this enough to understand. But yeah, so I definitely do like my, because I was having problems with my, how long I've been recording. Cool. Alright. Later than I thought. I was having problems where when I was riding with my grips, even with like, these are P&W components, loam grips. I'm even using shifter, dropper post, lever. And I had to move my water bottle mount over. Yes, I have a water bottle mounted onto my handlebars. For the riding I do, it's convenient. I also have a second bottle that's mounted on my frame, so it's like my backup. Or if I, you know, come across somebody that overdid it in their hydration, I can give them the bottle. So it's either if I need a second bottle, or if somebody else needs a bottle of water, or needs some water, or whatever. So but it was one of those, like, I just didn't feel like taking everything off of the handlebars, because then, you know, you get everything in position. I finally decided, I'm like, you know what, I can either not do this, or I can just bite the bullet and do it and get it done. So I ordered the grips one night, took the bike out, and just got to town with the Allen wrenches, took everything apart that I needed to, put the bar ends on, got everything spaced back out how I wanted, and got everything aligned, adjustments here and there. Rode it down the street a little bit, test everything out, make sure everything was the right angle. Because one thing I like is I like to be able to, like, I like to have, I kind of need to adjust them a little bit, maybe, I don't know. All right. But I try and have my brake levers to where I can go from having wrapped around the bars if I'm just cruising along, but if I need to stop, I can quickly grab both brake levers and put it where I don't have to, like, I do the least amount of movement to get back, you know what I'm saying, I hope. So got everything set where I wanted it. Took it for a ride and had to adjust the angle of the bar ends because they basically weren't making even contact on my hands. They were they were a little bit angled wrong. So when I was gripping them, they were putting extra pressure into like the bottoms of my hands. So I just angled them a little bit different, and now they're awesome. And obviously in places where I need more, at least for right now. So they work. They also kind of, if I had to go to the grocery store or something, I could hook like a grocery bag, like a plastic bag off them or something. Or if I wanted to bring something like, you know, if I wanted to bike ride, bring like a sandwich or something, I didn't want to throw a little backpack on, could just throw in a bag and hook it onto those little, as I call them, my antlers. Because that's kind of what they look like. Kind of. But yep. So they're definitely nice. So peaceful out here. And even though it's quite warm during the day already in the year, quite comfortable at night. Yeah, I think it's upper 60s tonight, maybe low 70s, but only downside to tonight is a little bit of a breeze, a little more than I'd want. So, but other than that, it's great. Great riding weather. It's funny to think, like just 2 weeks ago, I was wearing a windbreaker to ride my bike. It's definitely warming up. And one of these days I do need to order the new liner for my helmet. Little foam bits. It's like foam and then there's like a fabric on top of it and it's kind of falling apart. So that's on my need to do list. Need to get that ordered and replace them. They're not expensive, but it's not Amazon. I gotta enter all my stuff. You gotta take my wallet out, take the card out, read the numbers, type them in. Yeah, it's a lot of effort. So, but no, the other thing, I'm gonna wrap up the video after this because I've been yammering for a while. But no, the other thing I don't know what made me kind of start doing this. Being tired of, I guess, you know, waking up in the morning and having, you know, 10 or so junk emails to delete. You know, when I say junk, not like scam emails or spam emails, but like, you know, companies that, hey, sign up for our email list, we'll send you a 10% off coupon, or we'll give you free shipping, sign up for our newsletter, or we'll give you a coupon code, whatever, you know the deal. So I started just going through my emails, and when I get them, I don't automatically hit delete. I started opening those emails, and I won't even look at what's in the email. I'll just scroll all the way down to the bottom of it, look for that little button, little word, starts with a U and ends with an E, unsubscribe. So, you know, a lot of it is, you know, if I need something, you know, chances are I'm need it when I go search for it. I'm not gonna be like, ooh, you know, I need, you know, they've got a coupon code for this, you know, whatever, and then, you know, let me, you know, I'm gonna buy this just because, you know. I've also been trying to get away from Amazon, you know. You know, not to say I'm not ordering stuff on Amazon, but, or just trying to tone it back a little, you know. tell you one thing I'm really thinking about, and it's mainly because I not owe somebody a lunch, but kind of do. I don't know. What do you think? If you tell somebody, I'm not really like tell somebody, but if you're like, let me make sure I got enough time to talk. Oh yeah. So, you know, and you know, people can argue one way or the other, or be like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You know, you shouldn't pay for your coworkers' lunch. I mean, it's not out of charity or anything. It's just out of, you know, just like, hey, you know, like, I want to go get this. I want to go here. You know, I don't want to go by myself. I'll pay for you. Okay. That's a lot of times what it is. It's like, I mean, I don't do it all the time. You know. But every once in a while, I mean, it shows, you know, I think to me too, it also has that feeling to others that, you know, they kind of feel appreciated. You know, it's like, hey man, you did, you know, thanks for, you know, like if he brings me a coffee in the morning, gas station, you know, grabs me a Monster or something to knock out that afternoon little, you know, kind of, it's kind of that thing. You know, we take care of each other. You know, it's not a one-way street. It's not, oh, hey, I'm always buying you lunch. You know, it's, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's my money, not yours. So, really, what you think I do with it. So, you know, just like what you do with your money. You know, I personally, like, all these, like, premium service, you know, get rid of the ads, all that. I'm okay with the ads. You know, I know either you got to pay the bills with me listening to an ad, or you got to pay the bills with me paying. And you know, to me, I don't watch that much. I watch enough YouTube, but I don't watch enough to spend $20 a month of my money when I can just watch an ad or something. And most of the time, I'm like other people. I have YouTube open in a little window on my phone, and I'm doing something else. You know, I'm on YouTube, and I'm scrolling on Facebook, or I'm on YouTube, and I'm, you know, reading. Speaking of ads, an ad just came on Pandora. Pandora, not a sponsor. So it was actually kind of funny. The other night they had an ad come on, and it was like, DoorDash. Did you know you could DoorDash on your bicycle? Like, that's when you know these companies are data mining way too much. Because like, you're sending me an ad about DoorDash while I'm riding, DoorDashing on a bicycle while I'm riding a bicycle. Coincidence? I think not. You know, I guess it's just like any kind of ad. You know, you could easily, you know, if they, you know, those commercials, do you feel tired? Do you feel hungry in the afternoon? Do you wake up in the morning feeling tired? Well, you could have this. Ask your doctor about this. And it's like, your body's still waking up. You're tired in the morning. You know, sluggish in the afternoon because you ate too much for lunch. I forget what the other one was. You know, you ate too much and your body's using all of its energy to digest all that food in your gut. So, it's one of those, you know, but all those ads they push out, people see all that, and next thing you know, everybody's calling up and saying, hey, an appointment because I have this and this and this, and I need to take this for it. So that was one of the things I kind of just had to challenge myself to do, because I usually, when I pass people, I usually stop talking, but it's like, you know, nowadays everybody or Bluetooth or something, and it's just a little comical that, you know, I remember back, I guess it was 05, somewhere in there, 03 to 05, when the Bluetooth headsets were like, everybody had them. Everybody had a Motorola Razr or a Crazer or something like that, and everybody had a fucking little Bluetooth thing in their ear. And everybody used to make fun of people. Phone, you always need your Bluetooth in your ear. And now everybody's got Bluetooth shoved in their ears. So it's like, you listen to music, are you talking on the phone, are you talking to me? And I went to the store the other day, and the cashier's got her little AirPod in, and she's on the phone, and I could tell she's on the phone, and whoever she was talking to must have said something funny, and she started laughing. Well, the front manager is like, asked her, "Are you on the phone?" She said no. She said, "Well, I saw you on, you know, you had your phone, why do you have your phone in your hand?" "Oh, I was checking my mom's location, seeing if she was where she was at." It's like, well, you just admit, like, she didn't ask if you were talking on the phone. She said, "Are you on your phone?" And it's like, instead of saying, you know, because that's the problem. They don't think about it, but, and they say, "Hey, you know," that then they start proposing, "Hey, we need to get rid of cell phones being allowed in the store." You know, because the problem is like, you got that little ear thing in your ear, and you might have like transparency on, but and it's also, it's like, you know, you're working, and I might get some, so, you know, this will be the end point of this video, you know, but when you go to work, you're trading your time for an amount of money. You know, you agreed to the terms that an hour of your time is worth X number of dollars, you know, so, you know, that hour of time is your employer's time, you know. That's why you have break times. That's your time. Those other hours, that's work time. You have sold that time, traded that time to your employer for a certain dollar amount per hour. So, always something to think about. And hey, you know, people have differences of opinions, and I understand that. So, hey, you know what? If you have a difference of opinion of anything I've said, discussion in the comments. You keep it tame, we'll keep the discussion going. You act responsibly, and then I will delete your comment. So keep it civil. You can disagree, but let's have a civil and not just a "you're wrong" and, you know, a bunch of expletives. You know, tell me I'm wrong, but share your viewpoint. Substantiate your viewpoint too if you'd like. You know, I'm alright that we can have differing opinions. Maybe I'll learn something. You know, so anyway, I'm gonna finish up my ride here. Not my ride, but I'm gonna finish the vlog here, and I'm gonna finish out my ride. So thanks for riding with me. Have a good one.